What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm here to break down the quarterbacks for Week 10. Cannot believe we're already at Week 10 in the NFL season, but we're here. I'm going to get into all the best quarterback plays on the slate on Draftkings. If you're new here, make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to this channel, leave a comment, turn on notification bell. It's all free. Really helps me grow. I've had a lot of growth. I want to continue growing. Going to get into, right now, the only sport going on is NFL, but college basketball starts in a few weeks, and that is my favorite sport, and I am so excited to start making videos for that as well, so stick around for that. And of course, NBA is coming back in December as well. If you want to get more of my content, you can always subscribe to my Patreon. It's only $10 a month. You're going to get pretty much an article for every single showdown slate, along with every single position every single week with rankings for cash and GPPs. You're going to get all my injury notes and a few more rankings and stats so you guys are you're going to know what to do on Sundays, and you're going to be able to succeed at DFS. So be sure to check that out. I'll put the link in the description below. But let's get into the players. Baker Mayfield's first quarterback I want to talk about. He is on the COVID list, so no guarantees that he plays, but I'm kind of expecting him to play at this point. Obviously, if he doesn't play, don't play him. I think that goes without saying, but they are playing the Houston Texans, who are just, a horrible defense overall. This game has a total of 53.5 right now. The Texans have allowed the 7th most points to opposing quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield's wide receiver options aren't the most amazing in the world. No Odell anymore. Jarvis Landry's looked bad this year, but this may be a spot to actually look for Jarvis Landry. He's going to have a good matchup in the slot. And then Rashard Higgins as well. He's another wide receiver that I think is in a good spot. So maybe if you're looking for Baker stacks, which probably isn't a stack I want to go to, that's probably where I'd look to. But, Baker's, he's really cheap. Should be going up against a really good matchup. If you want to pay up for some other positions, I think Baker Mayfield's definitely someone to target. Deshaun Watson on the other side of the game going up against the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns have not been a great pass defense. They've been a pretty solid rush defense, but pass defense has not been the best for them, allowing the 9th most points to opposing quarterbacks on the year. The Houston Texans are right now underdogs, so we're going to get Deshaun Watson playing from behind, and pretty much every time Deshaun Watson plays from behind, that dude puts up some ridiculous numbers in a good pass defense, or against a bad pass defense. The line's set at 53.5 right now. He's in a really, really good spot. Love his stack options with Will Fuller and Brandon Cooks as usual. If you want to go to Randall Cobb, you can as well. Will Fuller will probably get the Denzel Ward treatment, but I'm really not too worried about that. He's probably not going to shadow him for the entire game. So the Deshaun Watson stacks do look pretty solid. Not too expensive. He's not Kyler expensive, but he is still expensive. Deshaun, it's Deshaun Watson. You kind of have to be used to that at this point, so definitely like going there. Josh Allen is going to be going against the Arizona Cardinals in what is right now the highest total game on the slate at 56. The Bills are slight underdogs in this game, and this is definitely a spot that I want to attack. The Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, we saw what he did last week to Seattle. Seattle's got one of the worst they are a worst pass defense in the league right now, but they are still, it's still a spot where Josh Allen was able to succeed. He was able to get the ball to Stephon Diggs and John Brown. Neither of them got in the end zone, which was unfortunate for any of you Josh Allen stack guys, but let's run it back this week. They're not favored. They're going up against Arizona, who's allowed the 17th most points to opposing quarterbacks. It's not the best spot in the league, but Arizona's defense, it's good, but it's nothing like for you to be really too worried about. But love the game total. We're going to have 56 game total playing from behind for Josh Allen. Love his wide receivers. I love Diggs. I love John Brown. If you want to get some Cole Beasley or Gabriel Davis, I think that's fine. But I think the likelihood of Gabriel Davis hitting back-to-back weeks when he's in such a limited role is very, very small. So probably not going to go there. But yeah, I could see an explosion game with Stephon Diggs coming here. It's definitely a spot I like to go to. Tua Tagovailoa, the rookie for the Miami Dolphins, are going to be going up against the other rookie, Justin Herbert, on the LA Chargers. This is a game that totals only at 48, but I think this is a spot where both these teams could put up a little bit more points, and I think it's kind of a little bit of a sneaky spot. Look, you have the LA Chargers, who've allowed the 4th most points to opposing quarterbacks so far this year. Their secondary is not that good. Their pass rush is not that good. It looks like Joey Bosa is going to miss another game. So that's it's going to help the offensive line for Miami, which isn't anything to write home about, but it's not bad. So Tua, this could be a really good spot for him. There's no more Preston Williams. It's only going to be Devontae Parker. And Devontae Parker and Tua Tagovailoa seem to have some very good chemistry going on there. Mike Gesicki seemed to be a guy that Tua liked a good bit amount in the last game as well, so that could be another guy to stack with Tua. He's really cheap. He's only $5,400 on Draftkings. So he's definitely someone that's a cheap option if you want to go to a cheap stack. Like Drew Lock last week was a cheap stack that worked out pretty well. I think Tua could be that one this week. They are slight favorites here, but This game should be a close game. I could see this game becoming a shootout. Like, it's not like, a guaranteed shootout or anything, but it's definitely got shootout potential, and I definitely want to get some exposure to that game. Drew Lock going up against the Las Vegas Raiders. This is another game that I think could go under the radar this week. Maybe not from a stack position, maybe not wanting to get stacks, but I definitely think pieces of this game is somewhere to go. So I'm going to put Drew Lock in here. He's more of a maybe at anything. They are playing from behind against the Raiders, who have allowed the 6th most points to opposing quarterbacks this year. Their defense is good. Their secondary is terrible. They don't really have much pass rush. I mean, Max Crosby's taking a huge drop off after his great rookie year. So Drew Lock looks to be in a really good spot, but it is still Drew Lock. We saw him have a terrible game until the fourth quarter, and man, was that looking bad last week until him and Jerry Jeudy really connected. But still has some really good options. Of obviously Jerry Jeudy, Noah Fant's a good option. If you want to get some Tim Patrick or KJ Hamler, I think they're fine options as well. Noah Fant is questionable, so be sure to look out for that though. But Drew Lock, I mean, I think he's okay. Probably my least favorite quarterback on this entire video, but I still think he is a fine option if you want to get there. Russell Wilson is up next, going up against the LA Rams in the second highest total game on the slate at 55.5, and they're actually not favored in this game. Like, you have Russell Wilson as an underdog. I mean, they're in LA, but I mean, it's a slight underdog. This game could shoot out for sure. You have two defenses that, I mean, the Rams defense has been good this year, but they haven't played Seattle yet, so like, damn it, like Jalen Ramsey hasn't seen Metcalf or Lockett this year. I mean, he's not going to see Lockett. He hasn't seen DK Metcalf this year. He's just made great corners look silly this year, and I don't see any reason he's going to make I mean, Jalen Ramsey's good, but he isn't like, I don't think Jalen Ramsey's like this, one of the next great cornerbacks of all time. Like, he's a really good cornerback, but he isn't like Darrelle Revis or Sherman back in the day. So, but he's good. So I'm not really too worried about the defense. I mean, yeah, the pass rush is kind of good for LA, but like, that's really something I'm not really too worried about. They're not going to be favored. They're going to be playing from behind of Russell Wilson throwing the ball a ton. I definitely like Russell Wilson stacks. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, of course, are the top two options. I'm probably not going to stack them with anybody else. Hopefully we don't get another stupid David Moore touchdown or a dumb Greg Olsen or Disley or Hollis or whichever tight ends out there that week touchdown. But, Russell Wilson stacks definitely look really, really appealing this week. Aaron Rodgers going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. This game's set at 52.5, but the Green Bay Packers have a 32 implied team total right now. Like, this is a team that's supposed to put up a ton of points. Jacksonville's allowed the 3rd most points to opposing quarterbacks this year. Like, I don't think this game's going to be a shootout or anything, but this game, like, the Green Bay Packers could just put up an absolute ton of points. So that makes me really like Aaron Rodgers and his pass catching options as well. You have Devontae Adams, who of course is like been the best receiver in the league this year. And then you also have Allen Lazard coming back from the IR this week. He's expected to make his return. And we know that Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers definitely likes Allen Lazard more than he likes MVS. So that could be a good guy to go target with Aaron Rodgers stacks as well. I think that's a sneaky spot that could definitely get some usage. So I think Aaron Rodgers is definitely someone I want to get some exposure to against the Jacksonville Jaguars defense that really isn't good, and it's with an implied total that's very, very high. Derek Carr's on the other side, that Drew Lock game. Broncos-Raiders, 51.5 game total. The Broncos have, again, been a bad pass defense, allowing 8th most points to opposing quarterbacks. They are going to be favored in this game. If you want to stack Derek Carr to Darren Waller or Henry Ruggs or Aguilar, any of those guys seem fine. I don't really know how much I'm really too interested in this, but like, these are just guys that, I mean, the game's total's kind of high, and like, they could put up numbers. I mean, they definitely could. I'm not saying they're top options. They're probably my least two favorite out of all these quarterbacks, but no one's playing Drew Lock and Derek Carr this week, so they're definitely someone to have interest in. Justin Herbert's one of my favorite plays on the slate. I don't think he's going to get a lot of ownership going against Miami Dolphins. Yeah, Miami's defense has actually been pretty solid this year. They've allowed the 18th most points to opposing quarterbacks in the league. The Chargers are not favored in this game. I know that says yes, but they are not favored. They are slight underdogs, but it's a really, really close matchup. Line on the game is only 48, but again, like I said, I think this game could shoot out. I think it has shootout potential. It's just two defenses that really aren't good, and two offenses that, quite frankly, are. I mean, Justin Herbert's made this Chargers offense elite. I mean, Keenan Allen's been great. Mike Williams has looked good. He got hurt at the end of the game. I don't know if he's going to play. Hunter Henry's been bad, but some of the other guys, he's gotten some random guys going into touchdowns, which are always tilting whenever I have Justin Herbert stacks and they go to Donald Parham or an 80-yard touchdown to Jalen Guyton. So that stuff's tilting, but the stacks have looked really, really good. And then on the other side, Tua, I mean, like, Tua made that offense look really good last week. I mean, he had a great game, had a great completion percentage, was very efficient. And, I mean, Devontae Parker's a pretty good wide receiver. So these are definitely a stack that I think that game could shoot out. No one's going to be playing, so I think that's going to be a good spot to look for. Kyler Murray going up against the Buffalo Bills in that 56 game total spot. The Buffalo Bills have allowed the 14th most points to opposing quarterbacks so far this year. Kyler Murray's been the number one quarterback in scoring on PPR this year. I mean, the guy he's like Lamar last year, just running the ball an absolute ton. He's been an absolute stud this year, so he's definitely someone who is on my radar as every single week. We love DeAndre Hopkins. Every single week he's on the field. Christian Kirk's a fine option as well, but I'm starting to think Kyler Murray stacks is probably just going to be better off going to one wide receiver than two, because he gets so much usage with his legs, and he's getting there on his legs, with his legs on his own, so maybe only one wide receiver to stack it with, so that's probably going to be Hopkins. I mean, if you want to go Christian Kirk and be different, I think that's fine. I don't know how much a double stack's really going to work for me with Kyler Murray, but I definitely like the spot he's in. It's a high total game. They are slight favorites in this game against a pretty subpar defense. And the last quarterback I'm going to talk about is the guy to cover, Jared Goff. Look, Seattle's pretty much just a team we got to attack quarterbacks every single game. Wide receivers, quarterbacks. Their passing defense is like historically bad. They're on pace to like give up some of the most passing yards ever in a season. So you have the Rams at home. They're slight favorites, but like I don't care. You want to attack them from the air. Jared Goff stacks just look amazing. He's only 6,500. I mean that's kind of a little. It's still a little pricey for like Jared Goff, but like, I'm really willing to pay for that. His stacks aren't that expensive. Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods aren't like the top end wide receiver expensive guys. So Jared Goff is definitely someone I am very, very interested in this week. Definitely want to get some stacks from him. If you're playing cash, I think he's a very good cash play. I don't think you have to get there. I think there's definitely other guys. If you want to get to Russ or Kyler or Josh Allen, I think those, or Deshaun, those are all good options, but I think Jared Goff is as well. So he's definitely someone I really like going to this week. I think he's in a very, very good spot. But I think that's really all I got to say on the quarterbacks for this slate. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. Hope you guys got a lot of good information out of this. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe. It's all free to you to do that and helps me out a ton. Thanks, guys.